minutes.
Thank you, Chairman. You know, there's an old saying, it isn't rocket science. Well, some of this isn't rocket science, and it's so obvious. I mean, quite frankly, 2 months ago, we didn't have problems. We had some problems, but they were certainly greatly diminished over time. And we had agreements with Mexico, we had agreements with other countries, and we were able to make a very terrible situation much, much better and much safer. The increase in the flow of undocumented has been huge. The numbers are staggering. So for anybody to say that we're not dealing with a crisis, and by the way, it's just a matter of 2 months. I guess it's amazing how much, when you change leadership, how much change can really occur. And sometimes, quite frankly, it's not good change. Single adult and family unit apprehensions have been increasing steadily since January 20th. Under the previous administration, Customs and Border Protection saw fewer than 1,000 family units per week attempt to enter our country illegally. Now, under President Biden's leadership, it's overwhelmed. CBP is overwhelmed. They're dealing with 6,000 attempted family crossings per week. Mr. Secretary, don't tell me this isn't a crisis. It is. Folks may not want to admit it. They may not want to say that we've had a radical change in literally about 8 weeks, but we have. And we've put a different message out. And when you put a different message out, you get a different result. Currently, the Department of Homeland Security does not have a comprehensive strategy to contain the spread of COVID-19 that we're so worried about. And it's occurring through the release of migrants at the border. Additionally, many are not even being tested for COVID-19 while being released, which is mind-boggling with all the time and work we've spent on this. The situation is not acceptable. The situation is not sustainable. We are a nation of the rule of law, which demands strong borders. And the previous speaker was right. With strong borders, then you can actually attempt to straighten out, to fix this immigration problem. But when you just have people pouring in, you can't. So my question is, your department's releasing thousands of migrants from CBP custody on their own recognizance with a notice to appear. You say there's a plan to test everyone, but senior officials from the department told us in a briefing last week that you were not testing everyone in CBP custody and have no ability to quarantine people who test positive. So this is mind-boggling when we've been so worried about this issue of COVID, and now what we're doing, we literally are going to create possibly another spike. We have heard from government officials along the border that people are not being tested for COVID-19 prior to their release. And people who are positive for COVID-19 are entering our public transportation systems. This is serious stuff. Besides the fact that we're not obeying the rule of law, besides the fact that people are just pouring into our borders, we're going to make people sick. I would like to know specifically how many people have been released on their own recognizance from CBP since January 20th, 21. Will you commit to sharing those numbers on a weekly basis with this committee? Yes or no?
Congressman, I will share the data with you, and I very much look forward to speaking with you when we're not so limited in time, because I disagree with so many of the statements that preceded your question.
Well,
Mr. Chairman,
I understand that maybe we will have that opportunity. I disagree with you disagreeing. How's that? Because all I know is I'm a simple guy. I look at 2 months ago and we had a certain situation, we were under control, and I look now with people crossing the border illegally in much larger numbers with shirts with our president's name on it. That means something under anybody's standard. Of those released, how many have been COVID-19 tested and how many have not? That's a specific number.
Interestingly, Congressman, if we look at the 2019 numbers in February, we take a look at unaccompanied children, and the numbers in 2021 are slightly greater than they were in February of 2019. If we look at individuals and family units, the numbers were far greater in number in 2019 than they are in 2021. So it's a complex issue, and those of us who have studied migration for many years understand the episodic surges that can occur. And we used to think that it was seasonal, and now our thinking is a bit different. And I very much look forward to speaking with you about it.
Well, thank you, as I do you. How many have?
Gentleman's time has expired. Chair
Thank you,
recognizes.
Chairman.
Yes, Chair recognizes